Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Reading the Success Principles by Jack Canfield. And my name is Dr. Ashwini Chube. I am going to once again read this amazing book. We are on chapter 5. And the title of the chapter 5 is Believe in Yourself. You weren't an accident. You weren't mass produced. You aren't an assembly line product. You were deliberately planned, specifically gifted, and lovingly positioned on the earth by master craftsmen, says Max Lucado. So this chapter is all about believing in yourself. I think that's one of the kindest thing you can do is to believe in yourself. So Jack Canfield says that if you are going to be successful in creating the life of your dreams, you have to believe that you're capable of making it happen. You have to believe you have the right stuff that you are able to pull it off. You have to believe in yourself. Whether you call it self esteem, self confidence, self assurance, it is a deep seated belief that you have what it takes, the abilities, the inner resources, talents, and skills to create your desired results. Believing in yourself is an attitude. Believing in yourself is a choice. It's choice truly. You can choose whether you want to believe or you don't want to believe. It's an attitude you develop over time. Although it helps if you had a positive and supportive parents, the fact is that most of us had run of the mill parents who inadvertently passed on to us the same limiting beliefs and negative conditioning they grew up with. When people tell me that my parents didn't support my dream or all of that, I always say that parents are someone who operate from a place of uttermost caution. Most of the times, your parents are just too cautious about you. I remember my parents were too cautious about everything, and they are trying to be so cautious and so protective that they pass on that fear energy to us. Now, they don't mean bad, they just, it's caution disguised as love. And that is because they were not taught how to handle these emotions. They were operating from a place of fear, they had their own fears. And unknowingly, just under the name of caution, a lot of negative conditioning was passed on. So, if you're watching this and if you are someone who is having any reservations or any as I would say, if you have that my parents don't encourage me, just I want you to first let that thought go, just forgive them, send them light energy, just tell yourself that they were doing their best with whatever resources they had. But remember, the past is past. There is no payoff for blaming them for your current level of self-confidence. It is now your responsibility to take charge of your own self-concept and beliefs. Till a particular point of time, your parents will be responsible for the way they created you. But after a point of time, you have to understand that now you are in charge of your life. So if you are, say, 50 or 40 or even 35, and if you're still blaming your parents, I want you to pause and I want you to take responsibility of your life. The first chapter in this book was 100% responsibility, right? You must choose to believe that you can do anything you set your mind to, anything at all, because in fact you can. It might help you to know that the latest brain research now indicates that with enough positive self talk and positive visualization combined with proper training, coaching, and practice, anyone can learn to do almost anything. One of the hundreds of super successful people I have interviewed for this and other books, almost everyone told me I was not the most gifted or talented person in my field, but I chose to believe anything was possible. I studied, practiced, and worked harder than others, and that's how I got to where I am. If a 20-year-old Texan can take up the luge and become an Olympic athlete, a college dropout can become a billionaire, and a dyslexic student who failed three grades can become best-selling author and television producer, then you too can accomplish anything if you simply believe it is possible. If you assume in favor of yourself and act as if it is possible, you will do the things that are necessary to bring about the result. If you believe it is impossible, you will not do what is necessary and you will not produce the result. It becomes a self fulfilling prophecy. And the next part is about the choice of what to believe is up to you, which means you always have a choice in choosing whatever you believe to be true. So let's read about it in the next part. in the next part where we talk about the choice of what you want to believe is up to you. This is a very important thing because most people act like they live in a choiceless universe. And it's not even their fault because we have been always told in life that we don't have a choice. I remember once one of my father's friends, he was talking to my father about some situation which was going in his life, and he said that he cannot choose because he used the word beggars can't be choosers. And I remember my dad telling him that, listen, there is nothing like that. You can't choose. You have to, probably speak up for you. And but that person was just not believing, and he said that, Chube sir, I can't. I'll tell you something. Beggars can't be choosers, and I was right there in front, and I wondered that, wow, this is the conditioning which has been given to us. Unfortunately, most people are given this conditioning. So now the author says that if you're going to be successful, you need to give up the phrase I can't and all of its cousins, such as I wish I were able to. The words I can't actually disempower you. Many times I ask people when they want to come for workshops or they want to choose the trainings or life transformation events, and some of them say that I want to, but I can't. Now, the moment you say I want you I can't, you are just telling the universe that you are powerless. Because I always say this, when I started my journey, there were so many things I thought I couldn't. For example, when I enrolled in my first access consciousness class, the fees I thought were, oh my god, too much to pay. And I just thought that, wow, this is so expensive, I cannot do it. But then there was a voice inside of me which said that, okay, what if I can find a way out to make sure that I earn that much money? And by the time I'd already quit my job, so I was just starting in my profession as a coach, and I did not have a constant stream of income with continuously having clients like I have now. So at that point of time, I was really not sure. But then somehow things just worked out, and I did a few workshops. I earned money, and I invested that in an access consciousness class, after which a lot changed for me. And then I realized that there is nothing in access consciousness. The very first thing which they speak about is a choice creates. And then I realized, yeah, I actually have a choice. And after that, I've stopped using the words I want to, but I can't. Because honestly, either you choose it or you don't choose it. When you're not choosing it, you are afraid that if you choose it, you will get judgment from others. Hence, you are afraid to speak up. Also, if you're choosing something for yourself, you fear that it might upset a lot of your loved ones if you choose yourself and you say that I will not choose me, I will choose this relationship, right? But what if you can choose it for you and not even sabotage the relationship? And the whole idea is a very good communication where you communicate to express and not to impress, and you don't communicate to people please or take someone's permission, but you rather share something with someone and have honest communication. It's a very deep process, though it's a very consistent process. And I also think that there's a lot of inner work which is needed to. And of course, some other day we'll talk about what inner work is. But let's talk about this whole I wish I were able to. I use a technique called kinesiology to test people's muscle strength as they say different phrases. And I learned this once from one of my mentors too. I have to put their left arm out and push it down with my left hand to see what their normal strength is. Then I have to pick something they can't do and say, I can't play the piano, and say it loud. Then they push their arm again. It's always weaker. Then I have say them, I can do it, and their arm is stronger. Our mind and our body are so connected. Most people do not know that we have that power within us. But when you read such beautiful books, you are reminded of some wonderful things. Your brain is designed to solve any problem and reach any goal that you give it. The words you think and say actually affect your body. We see that in you could climb up on anything. No barrier was too difficult for you to attempt to overcome. But little by little, your sense of invincibility is conditioned out of you by the emotional and physical abuse. Wow, powerful. That you receive from family, friends, teacher, until you can no longer believe you can. We are so conditioned to stop believing that we can. When we were young, we believed we could do anything. As we started growing older, we pile up on experiences after experiences to stop believing in what we can do. And many times when I give talks of positivity, a lot of people tell me, आपके लिए क्या बोलना है आसान है, हमारे लिए करना difficult है. I always tell them that, I was there once you are sitting. I remember I went through very difficult times in life and I did not know what to do. At that point of time, I still kept working on myself because I believed that one day something will change. And I kept doing it consistently. I went, I always say, I went from pillar to post until I found the mentors, the teachers who helped me understand, and I studied. And one of the modalities which I practice, neuro-linguistic programming, we say that, if we erase all the traumatic conditioning we have in our system, the way our neurons, our brain is firing neurons, about 85, 86 billion, 200 billion neurons are being fired. That's massive. And the neurons are conditioned to believe in something, and that's what makes the reality. Most people in the reality in which most people talk about, are conditioned for mediocrity, for feeling sad, for feeling stuck. And that's why if someone talks positive, people think that ye pagal hai kya? That's what people look at you as. People either think you are mad, or they think you are a scam or a fraud who is just promising things to take money from you, or you are a genius or you are a brilliant. There are only three judgments which people pass. But that is because these are the 5% people in the world who have rewired their brain to believe in success. Whether you watch interviews of any people who have, who are leaders, who are masters, who are walking talking masters, and you will see that they all talk about this. Whether it is Dr. Wayne Dyer, whether it is Jack Canfield, whether there are leaders like Narendra Modi, whether there are film stars like Shah Rukh Khan, if you observe their speeches, Steve Jobs, if you look at the way they talk, the way they deliver the words, they have conditioned themselves for success. They have conditioned themselves for creating something much bigger, right? So you must take responsibility for removing I can't from your vocabulary. In the 1980s, I attended Tony Robbins seminar. Yeah, Robbins, I just personally love him too. And I have been studying something under him for some time now. And it's an online training and I loved it. It's it's just amazing. I would love to attend an in-person training with him someday, in which we learned to walk on burning coals. When we began, we all were afraid that we would not be able to do it, that we would burn the soles of our feet. As a part of the seminar, Tony had us write down every other I can't that we had. I can't find a perfect job. I can't be a millionaire. I can't find a perfect mate. And then we threw them onto the burning coals and watched them go into flames. 2 hours later, 350 of us walked on the burning coals without anyone get burned. That night, we all learned that just like the belief that we couldn't walk on burning coals without getting burned was a lie, every other limiting belief of ours was also a lie. Wow. Bulb moment. How many of you got a bulb moment? Type me in the chat box. What others think about you is none of your business. You have to believe in yourself when no one else does. That's what makes you a winner. If having others believing in you and your dream was a requirement for success, most of us would never accomplish anything. You need to base your decisions about you want to do on your goals and desires, not the goals, desires, opinion, and judgments of your parents, spouse, children, and co-workers. I remember there was a client. She is still learning with me. When she started a few months ago, or maybe a year ago, she was all charged up with the energy. And then at one point of time, she did a session after a very long gap. And she said that, Ashwini, right now I feel it's not going to work out for me for some time. So I would want to take a break. because things will not work out for me. And I was just observing her patterns, and I asked, what do you mean by things are not going to work out? Because we started off so well and you are already doing so good. So she said, no, right now the things are going in such manner that my husband is saying this thing, this is going on with my elder child. He's going for this, and this is not happening. And, I was talking to someone from the school parents, and she said that this will not work out. And I was like, stop. Whose thoughts are these? Are these your thoughts? Are these the thoughts of your husband? Or rather, your husband's colleagues? Someone in her husband's office was talking about something. Then she met someone at the school parent circle of her elder son, where that person, that the parent, another parent who's also her friend, said something about you cannot have this. And now she is, because she's been spending time talking about these things, that has become her belief system, that's become her thought. So you need to base your decisions about what you want to do on your goals and desires, not the goals, desires, opinion, and judgments of your parents, friends, spouse, children, and co-workers. Recently this woman started coaching with me. She started just a very basic coaching with me, and this is the first time ever she has taken up something like this in her life. She said, I've never done coaching, but I'm so wanting to change my life. And I salute her for those efforts, because we invest in children. We will make sure that our child goes to the right classes, the right school, the right teachers. But when it comes to us, we feel that our life is already over. So we don't do that. But anyway, this woman did that. And she said that, Ashwini, because we are doing this work, inner work, I feel very different all of a sudden. I no longer connect to the gossip which the other women of my friend circle go through. And she said that the only friend circle I had was my children's friends' parents, like the school parents group. And that's the only group I have. And in that group, a lot of people are very negative. They only talk about things like how bad life is, कि आगे कुछ नहीं हो सकता है, the times are very bad. And she's like, I have a very good relationship with my spouse. I have a very supportive family. But because I am with those women, they keep talking about how evil their mother-in-law is, how how bad their partner is, how things are difficult. And I have everything which is very good. My only concern is this, which she's, for which she connected to me. And she said that, after doing our sessions, because in our sessions we do something called as victory log, in which we tell our students, our coaches, our mentees to prepare a list of all the things they have done in their life as a victory. It could be a smallest thing from, um, to a biggest event. Maybe something happened when you were in college. Maybe you won first prize in a competition. To something recent where you exercised for 1 hour, where you are so busy. Like there are people who say that they are so busy, I don't have time for exercise. And then they say, I exercise today for 1 hour. Or there are also people who say that I could do my first day of journaling, my gratitude journaling, or whatever it is. These are the little victories. How you overcame certain difficult situations. Like one of the persons said that my her husband lost a job, and it was a very difficult period for the whole family at that point of time. But at that point of time, she and her husband would do the regular meditation exercises and a lot of things, because of which they were calm and composed, and they could attract opportunities. See, you attract opportunities because your vibration is high. What do I mean by vibration? You are living in the higher frequencies where the possibilities are able to find you. And then this could be her victory log. These are little things we often take for granted. But aren't they wonderful? So quit worrying what other people think about you and follow your heart. The biggest problem is we think a lot about how other people look at us. But that's none of our business. Everyone will, everyone has a right to have a view about you, and it could be completely distorted. Like people have different views about me, and some people don't like me, and That's not my problem. Because I'm not here to be liked by everyone. I always say I'm here to inspire people. If you like what I speak, take it. If you don't, walk away. It's all right. Because most of our lives, we focus it on what people think about us and we end up losing our focus. I like Dr. Daniel Amen's 18-40-40-60 rule. When you are 18, you worry about what everyone is thinking. When you're 40, you don't give a damn about anyone thinks of you. When you're 60, you realize nobody has been thinking about you at all. I think by 60, we all will know this. And sometimes I feel that it's okay. Just, people are just not worried about you at all. That's the truth. Okay. And at 40, I think we all are at 40. Hence, most of the people who are watching me, of course, you could be younger if you are watching too, or you could be older too. But most people of my generation, hello millennials, are you watching? When you're 40, you don't give a damn about what anyone thinks of you. Surprise, surprise, most of the time nobody's thinking about you at all. Yes, people are too busy thinking about their own lives. And if they're thinking about you, they're wondering what you are thinking about them. People think about themselves, not you. Think about it. All the time you are wasting worrying about what other people think about your ideas, your goals, your clothes, your hair, and your home could all be better spent on thinking and doing these things that achieve your goals. We do something called as 20 minutes of unwavering focus in our coaching sessions, where I tell people to focus for 20 minutes on something with no distraction, putting your phone on airplane mode, putting your all notifications off, probably locking yourself in a room where you're only going to focus on what it is. And every day, 20 minutes of unwavering focus, if you do it for 1 year, after 1 year, you will be a totally different person. Now, you will say that, no, I can't have that time. No one has the time. We take time out. We figure time out. We make sure that we dedicate time to something. Otherwise, we cannot do something. And when people do coaching sessions with me, I always tell them that because you promised me and because you paid me, you have shown up here. Because there is so much knowledge which I'm giving for free. How many people are watching it? Not many. That is because when you are focused on something, the whole focus energy creates something bigger. So that was chapter 5. I hope you enjoyed it. I love this book. My God, I can just read this book over and over again. And I had read it once, but I am reading it again. And this time I'm reading with, I sit with my marker pen. I can't find it here. But I usually sit with my marker pen and I also sit with a book, where I can take the notes off. Do you see this? You may not be able to see the notes, but I take notes out of the book so that I can share with you all on the live. And there are so many wisdom snippets from this book I also use in my coaching practice, and each of them is way more powerful. Even basic things can help you change so much about your day to day life if you start applying them. So I hope chapter 5 was fun for you all. I would look forward to see you all once again with the next chapter. Read with me, join our Readers Club. We already have a WhatsApp group for the Readers Club. If you're interested in joining the Readers Club WhatsApp group, you can drop your comments below, or you can write an email to me at ashwini.chube@unicorninsight.com or inbox.unicorninsight@gmail.com, and we will add you to the group. Right now, apart from this book, which I said will take its own time, we are also reading this beautiful book by Mel Robbins, Let Them Be. And I just downloaded the Kindle version in my Kindle. And my friend and my colleague Neelam, who's the co-founder of our book club, she and me are reading this book all this month. So if you would like to be a part of that too, feel free to join, feel free to read with us, and do share your comments on how this experience of watching this video was. Do you have the book? Drop your comments below, and I would love to know more about you. Have a lovely day or a lovely good night wherever you are based in the world and wherever you are watching this. Bye.